The Americana. It's beautiful, open, clean, accessible. But this part is my favorite. I love the fountain, the lights, the walkways. I love nighttime when the music's playing and the fountain's performing its nightly show. It is a future of space, a modern-day public square. Or is it? The public square, historically, has been a space for social and political life. Ideas were exchanged there. It was an active exercise of citizenship, one's right to their own thoughts and expression of them without consequence. And the Americana looks like a public square, except for one thing.
Surround Vision, AMC, Urban Outfitters, Weston Tesla, Brandy Melville.
How did we get here? In this cycle of constant advertisement, everywhere, everything has been compromised.
Coca-Cola, Disney, McDonald's, these core American brands became powerful precisely because they understood that they were selling ideas instead of products.
Ads are reaching beyond the confines of use and are getting so personal, so private, it's hard to separate consumerism with the self. Its identity, it's all one. So much so that a public space like the Americana ends up being watermarked landscape. But as someone who grew up in a town that didn't maintain public space, I'll take what I can get. I mean, regardless of the commercialism, it's still a beautiful place. And if you want to do a little shopping while you're there, who's that hurting? Well, no one. But this isn't a public space. The Americana is a public-private space, and in public-private spaces, there's censorship. Physical, social, and political censorship. It is owned by the city of Glendale and Caruso affiliated. There are specific hours you can be there and an expectation of how the space is used. It's a public space in the sense that anyone can be there, theoretically, but you can't stand anywhere you want or say whatever you want if it's infringing on private companies. It's modeled to look like public squares, but it's a costume, a skin for capitalism to slip on and make money. And I still love it. But just looking at the scale here, if the practice of one's citizenship was exercised in public squares, and the Americana is the new public square, how are we practicing citizenship? Silk Neeson found that new urban spaces open up to orders from the commercial private sector and neglect the democratic role of the city to the detriment of citizenship. Following this logic, the citizen is replaced by the solvent consumer. While her words were published in 2008, I think we're already there. I think we've been there for a long time. When has citizenship ever solely been defined by residency? To be a citizen and have access to citizen rights, you gotta pay. We've been slowly creeping towards this new definition of citizenship for decades. So the Americana shouldn't really faze me like it does. But still, it does. What even is public anymore? Where is the line that tells us this is for everyone without exception? Maybe more importantly, though, what is private? Is anything solely ours anymore? Whether we like it or not,
There is now no aspect of our lives that is not open to being used in this kind of theater of the brand.
life is consumerism. And if we, the public, remain stuck doing the limbo for big corporations, parts of ourselves, our identities, will be compromised. When we see going out of the home as a means to spend money, we're losing the idea of what out even means. So while I still have love for the Americana, it's a complicated one. It's captivating and manufactured, and social and suffocating. And now when I go for my weekly stroll, I can't help but think it might be time for the general public to become private once again.